Here we are. Everyone's in the client. Let me get the music on as well. Okay. Let's lock in, everyone. Alright, so. Last we left off, the Wayward Wanderers were passing time in Ralhafthod, waiting for their fated match with the Troubadours in the Grand Arena. But while they waited in their tedium, time has now caught up with them. After discovering a tunnel network burrowing through the mound, they found a curious wall buried within, bearing similarities to the tunnel network they had wandered through before after fighting a giant spider. After coming out the other sides of these tunnels in the uppers, Anxie and Baelor saw fit to check in with their friend Dranth at the Zenith Institute. Upon asking a couple of students, they were given the concerning answer that Dranth was seen in a rush, seeming ready to leave. After requesting to speak to one of his researcher colleagues, an elven lady came out to meet you. Tall and thin, maintaining proper frame at all times, and as she began to talk to you, she talked down to you, making several mentions of Anxie being Dranth's plaything he toyed with during his last few days in the city, stating plainly that she couldn't have meant much to him. A quick and underhanded use of detect thoughts, as well as several lucky rolls, allowed you to pry her thoughts. You found that she was trying to shoo you off, and desperate to not inform you of Dranth's secret mission to Ral Nibblegup. Alerted and now panicked, you scampered back to the Ladies' Garden, calling a favour from your, hopefully, trustworthy friend Carnell Brightburn. After hearing of your plight, he immediately came to your aid, teleporting you all to Ral Nibblegup. An anxious and panicked walk later, you found yourselves outside of Gwen's house, staring down a broken and busted door. The living room torn asunder, furniture broken and overturned, and a pair of feet lying still and motionless in the next room. The body of Presso, an academic you had previously met on the road to Ralhafthod. Gwen missing and unable to be reached, and exhausted and worry-ridden, you took a long rest. And an insightful dream from Zinni spread light on what happened after she spoke with Presso's spectral form. 3 people had broken in, killed him, took her, and teleported away. With only small inklings of what to do and limited information, a sense of irony is in the air. The Wayward Wanderers spent their last few days wasted away in boredom, hoping that time would pass them by. And now that life and death has come to knock on their door, what will you decide to do? Every action has a consequence. Can you weigh up and decide what would be best to do? Or will you stand by as you watch your time tick, tick away? Wayward Wanderers, what would you like to do?
Rewind.
I think Chronomancy is just a little bit out of your wheelhouse, Zinni.
That's the wrong person you just mentioned.
You did just spoil something back there.
What did I spoil?
They teleported away.
No, that was said by Dranth. By Presso.
You don't know your people's names anymore.
Shut
Calling
up.
me Zinni.
So there's no if we knew that from I guess my character would still go check the guards anyway, wouldn't they? I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's only worth checking in the market for who told them where Gwen lives.
Fine, that's kind of not useful information, is it?
Yeah, you went and asked the guards before you found out that they had teleported away, because that was only revealed to Zinni in her dream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so I don't know that bit.
Yeah.
I guess I'll see if, because I told them to contact me at the inn if they found anything, so I guess I'll check reception when I go down. Which side are we starting with, them or me?
Whoever wants to take roll first.
I'll get my bit over and done with quick then.
Yeah, I'd say just go, even if it's
Yeah,
quick.
so I just rush downstairs, ask the reception, is there any news from anyone?
You are told that there is no news, unfortunately.
Okay. In that case, I guess I just head over to you guys then.
Okay, you head on over to Gwen's place. It'll take a couple of hours.
Before I leave, I disguise myself as a nondescript person who will fit in around the house.
Sure thing. Those
then
of
I can
you
go.
that are at Gwen's house, you wake up now on this new day, and what is it that you're going to do?
First thing I'd like to do is check whether we are somewhat covered from intruders, as in, like, if there is any chance neighbors would be able to see us while we're inside and whatnot. Like, trying to figure out how covered we are
You and
currently.
Carnellen did make sure to close the curtains last night,
Yeah.
and you've barged the door as close to the door frame as you can
Mhm.
manage. If someone were to get really close to the front door, they could peek in and see a bunch of the furniture overturned and like scuffed up, but it'd be like someone coming to look for something that they know is in there anyway. So it's like it's not something that any passerby is just going to notice. Outside of the door
So-
being
It
like
worked.
literally broken anyway, so
Is it worth asking the neighbors if they saw anything?
I thought of it, but we might make us even look even more suspicious, and we will have to answer to the authorities why there is a fucking body inside. Because currently no one really knows we are here.
And
As
why
in,
people were reported yesterday already.
exactly.
No, but they know that we know Gwen, and we can just say, Gwen's not here. Do you know anything? We don't have to talk about a body, we don't have to talk about anything that we already know, but we can just say, it's like when we helped Gwen and we knocked
Mhm.
on the neighbors' doors and we asked them to help
Exactly.
fix up her house. Like, they know that we know Gwen. They know that we are friends with Gwen and that we care about Gwen.
Yes, but right now no one knows that we are here, and if anyone decides to come and see why this place looks like a mess from outside, because currently her door is basically sliced in half, like it's broken into, and they might suspect us for it if we show our faces. Like, we weren't really sneaky when we came here, but it was late during the night, so the chance of people actually seeing us is lower. However, if we go and ask people and then someone actually figures out that there is a body inside of the home and Gwen is missing and her home's a mess, we might be people of interest. That's the only reason we are not really asking anyone if they've seen anything. Also, for me, it doesn't really make any sense for her neighbors to have noticed actually someone breaking in and no one like telling the authorities. Like, it's been a really long time and no one's came to check on her. So that's some kind of I kind of think we should maybe not do that. Obviously, if you think it's incorrect and we should probably try and seek information from them, we can. We should just try to figure out a way of dealing with the consequences afterwards.
Yeah, with the Lord and his guards not particularly being fond of us,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit concerned about drawing that kind of attention to ourselves.
We could possibly be blamed for it all. That's the problem.
If we manage to, like, move the body, then can we not ask the neighbors then and just be like, her home's been broken into and she's not there?
But okay, so what do you want to do with the body?
Apparently
Like-
Andros wants to take it and do fucking
Yeah, but
necrophilia shit with it.
how are we gonna take a whole fucking body and deal with the blood that's splattered around? Because I bet it's a mess. He was obliterated.
No.
It's not a bad idea, asking around for help, but I think it would make it more dangerous for us to leave after.
Okay, so what's next?
Could someone proficient in medicine check, basically try to check, for when the body was, for when Presso was actually killed, if that's possible? Is that something we can ascertain that late?
I'm not proficient in medicine, but it is wisdom
I don't
based.
think I am. I've got a lot of wisdom, but I'm not proficient in medicine.
Do you have any bonuses to medicine?
Uh,
I have a +4.
Well, that's way better than what I have. I have 0.
I can imagine I won't because I'm.
I think you have a +4 as well,
Ish.
Zinni.
You should both have +4 if you're not proficient, but it's wisdom based.
Yeah, I do. +4.
Okay.
Could you guys do a
Both of you
medicine
make a wisdom roll then.
Just a wisdom roll, not a medicine
Sorry, yeah,
check.
medicine check. Sorry, yeah. Okay. The 21 and 22, both very, very good rolls. You're at a point now where you're inspecting the body. It's quite obvious what killed it. Several lacerations to the torso and a firebolt or ball scorch mark to the face that has burned away almost half his hair and somewhat melted half his face. In trying to figure out how long this body's been dead, as you tuck your hands in like the crevices of his body, like his armpits and the backs of his knees, you notice that it's still ever so slightly warm there. And with the general knowledge that a body takes about 12 hours roughly before it goes cold, you can surmise that it was probably killed at least an hour, if not earlier, than before you got there.
Are you telling us that, guys?
Yeah, I'll share that information. Guys, this body was probably killed within an hour of when we got here, so
So they are 9 hours ahead of us.
yeah.
Should we try and speak with Presser in the meantime?
I think so.
Zinni, would you mind speaking with Presser?
Tony, you there?
Yeah, I said yeah, I can do it.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
think
we
I
didn't
heard you.
hear it.
Yeah, sounded weird. Okay, right. So, Zinni, you kneel down next to the corpse.
I'm just gonna take a spell slot before I forget later.
Good shout. And you begin to cast Speak with Dead. You start to mutter a couple of incantations, and the ends of your fingers start to glow. The little blue stringy wisps that usually come off your finger when you use your gentle release cantrip start to faintly come off of your finger before they whoosh snap into the body, and the body is yanked upright, so it's now sitting. You watch as the face cracks and twists and starts to look at you, as a faint light blue light is seen behind the eyes and inside the mouth. What 5 questions would you like to ask?
So,
Whatever Platt said.
so guys, from the questions, should what he knows of the Zenith Institute and Rand be the first one, or should why did they take Gwenny and not him be the first one? You're cutting out. I didn't hear you.
I think the Zenith Institute.
Okay, you can go forward with this one first then.
Exact wording will matter, so if you do want to go about that, make sure you're writing it in the chat, if anything.
I can.
Just to make sure.
I'm just asking, what do you know of the Zenith Institute, and do you know Dran?
Yeah, or you can just say, what do you know of the Zenith Institute and Rand? Or, like, both is fine. Just say what you feel like it. The question is the same, pretty much.
Okay, I asked that.
Okay, well, it's good that you said that, because they technically weren't the same. What Zinni said before was technically 2 questions. Okay, what do you know of the Zenith Institute and Dranth? As he sort of like looks around at all of you, it's very disconcerting. The body is moving and you see it looking at you, but when people look at you, you see like little movements in the rest of their body. You see their chest go up and down as they breathe. You see just their arms like dangle from their side. There's none of that. All of this is cold and rigid. And he looks towards you, Zinni, and says,
"The Zenith Institute is a place of magic learning. Dranth, a researcher, spoke with me.
One question down.
Okay, Watson.
Do we want to ask him what Dran spoke to me about?
Yeah, I'm just trying to word it correctly. Should we ask him about whether what's better? What have you told them, or what have you told them about Randy's work?
The
Which
second
one? The rest of you? Anyone? Do you think that's good?
Yeah, what he's told them is important.
But but do we ask him what he's told them, or what he's told them about Randy's work? Which one is better, is what I'm asking.
How much does he know about Randy's work, though, is the question.
Yeah,
It's
that's another thing.
Yeah, based on the journal, I don't think Randy's told them much about that yet, because he died in the caves, right?
I mean, he's told them what he's aiming to discover, but not what he's discovered. I think they probably knew that it would be important for the island's history and the Blight, but I doubt they know what exactly it was.
It's Prezzo, one of Randy's men. I forget what they're called.
They're colleagues, the Lost Seekers. He's a colleague of his.
So, is it not worth asking, what did you tell him about the Lost Seekers? Or what did you tell him about the work that the Lost Seekers is doing?
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's not just specifically Randy, if it's other info. Like, it covers Randy, but it also covers other pieces of information that
the thing
group
is,
was doing.
the only issue is that I believe what he's told him about Randy is important. Maybe he didn't tell him anything. That's valid as well. But uh, the, he can't really answer in depth. That's the problem. So I don't know how much we would get from it. But I believe your question is better.
Are you happy to
So you
ask?
can
Team?
just ask your question. What he's told him about the Lost Seekers work or whatnot. I think that's good.
What did you tell him about the work that the Lost Seeker was doing?
Are you like far away from your computer, Tony? It's like pretty laggy.
Yes.
Can you ask again? Sorry.
What did you tell him about the work that the Lost Seekers is doing?
I told him we were looking into the origin of the shambles and early island history.
Maybe it's valid asking now what Randy was close to discovering or whether he knows what he was exactly working on doing before he disappeared.
Is it the question that you already had on your list?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. The only reason I'm asking is that I don't want to like sidetrack and make sure that we cover questions that we originally had as well.
Yeah. But maybe say it as what was your colleague Randy close to discovering or working on discovering?
Maybe I could say before Randy's death, what was Randy working on, or what was Randy close to discovering?
Yeah. I'm just scared that he might say the same thing he just said. Because, yeah, I'm not sure how much he knows of, but I think it's worth saying it that way. Just go with it. Like, no one is
I was
saying
thinking about
anything
how to
bad.
word like
Yeah, exactly. I know.
what he was working on.
Because I believe what he was working on is exactly that. What he just said.
Okay.
But I don't know whether he would know what Randy was close to discovering. That's why I'm kinda unsure how good of a question it is.
Or I could say, what research led Randy to his death?
I don't know if he would know that, because technically no one knows that Randy is actually dead. They know he's disappeared.
What research led Randy to the caves?
Again, not sure if they know about the cave, but yeah, that's good. You can go with it.
Okay, what research led Randy to the cave?
I don't know of what
Ah.
cave you speak.
Yep. Oh, thought so.
Is that third question now?
Yep. We have two more. So I'm thinking between actually going with what was Randy close to discovering, or who would be affected by Randy's discoveries. I don't know. Can you just go with what he was close to discovering? I think that's a better question.
Thinking of a question of why would the Zenith Institute be interested in the research of the Lost Seekers?
Yeah, I think that's about it as well.
Yeah.
We just asked him what they were researching. Like, Randy was a lost seeker.
Asking, the moment, I can guarantee if you ask what he's close to discovering, he's not going to know what he's close to discovering because he doesn't know what he's close. He didn't know what he learned recently.
Yeah, I suppose. But also, if we ask him what he was researching, he would just say the same thing. I believe.
Well, no, he doesn't know what he was researching in the caves. He doesn't know what caves.
No, I mean, your question. Just ask him what he was researching. I think it's gonna lead to the same answer he gave us about what the Lost Seekers were working on.
So just be more generic of it. What were Lost Seekers like? What is the goal of Lost Seekers?
Was that basically not the first question?
It's the first question. I mean, like, why would we ask him something that we've already received an answer for? I feel like what Tony said, that why would the Zenith Institute be interested in that, is better.
I've typed it.
Okay.
I feel that's a good question.
The body stiffly cracks its neck and is now looking at you sideways, the glow in its eyes and mouth slowly starting to fade. And you ask, why would the Zenith Institute be interested in the Lost Seekers research? He opens his mouth and the words come out.
They aren't. Dranth told me they were of no concern.
Telling us anything. It's not telling us anything. He thinks Dranth is an ally. Thinks that he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's why I think we should maybe go with... I'm not sure how much we can say, actually. Would it be... How do I put it as part of the question? Maybe the people that killed you were from the Zenith Institute. And they took Gwen. Do you know why? Like, I don't know. That kind of seems decent, but I also don't know what an answer. The answer would be. Maybe he has no fucking idea. Another thing is, would it be viable to know whether these people actually spoke to him before killing him and kidnapping Gwen? I don't know.
He might have an idea of why they took Gwen, but
I believe so.
Zinni, didn't you ask him that already?
No.
In your dream?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think I did.
She asked who killed him or something, and he basically described cloaked figures. He didn't really see their faces. And he described a person with piercing white eyes, which is supposed to be Dranth. So he didn't really see who killed him or who took Gwen. So presumably he has no fucking idea that the Zenith Institute did all that.
And then when I tried to ask him further questions, he basically just was like, please just send me on.
Yeah. Maybe you should lead with the people that did that to you were from the Zenith Institute and they took Gwen. Why did they take her? Or maybe something like that. Or do you know why did they take her? I don't know.
Did we say? Debating in my head if we should say the Zenith loud.
I mean, there is no no harm in saying that, because technically it's not a question. You're giving information to someone that's dead and probably wouldn't really care about it. But I
But
don't
I'm
know.
just wondering if it would influence the answer. I think it would.
Could possibly. It's giving him more context. However, with his previous answer, I'm kind of confused whether it would work.
Let's just say there's the Youth Institute.
Are you speaking? Because you cut out.
Let's
We-
say the Zenith Institute took Gwen. Do you know why?
Yeah, you could go with that.
Okay, that's what you're going with? So, the Zenith Institute took Gwen. Do you know why?
Yep.
A final crack from the shoulder, and it starts to droop slightly, and the glow from the mouth and eyes starts to well up once more for one final push.
No.
And it dims, and the body fades and limps back to the floor.
Right.
Sorry, what was his answer?
No.
No.
Cool. So we got nothing. This
No.
fucking corpse. You can have his skull, Andros, if you like. Couldn't care less.
Well, we got some information. Basically, we know that they presumably didn't care about the Lost Seekers' work. However, they knew that they existed. So Drant lied to me. And we also know that they were looking into the Shambors, which we already know. So, yeah.
Now what?
Now
We
what
will
indeed?
wait for Andros because he's not here yet.
Yeah, Andros shows up.
Also, when that's done, I turn towards Carnellon.
He's been silently watching you all and taking everything in.
Carnellon, I bet that's not
Mhm.
something you used to seeing in the last couple of years. However, have you heard anything about a person named Baranoth?
Baranoth. No, not really.
I trust that.
Roll insight.
Okay. That's the maximum I can do.
It does beat a 25.
Let's fucking go, I managed.
Carnell is definitely not overwhelmed, but dealing with a lot of emotions right now. And through it all, you can't sense any kind of intent to hide anything, and that he's being upfront as best he can.
Do you know anything about a wizard named Magdalena?
Magdalena?
Andros, could you please show him an image of her?
No, I do it.
As you cast a minor illusion in your hand, and Carnell looks down to inspect it. I mean, she's quite beautiful, but could have been anyone that came to my shows. I don't know them personally.
I still trust him, I suppose.
Yeah, this insight carries through.
Okay.
Then Sid goes, I shagged her.
Yeah. Then Cedric was gonna probably hit him.
Hey, that's darling number one.
Yes, it. Guys, do you think it's worth asking her whether she knows anything about the Zenith Institute or Baranot?
Yeah?
Okay. I'll try to figure out what to ask her. In the meantime, should we talk with Randy?
What are we going to ask Randy?
What he was close to discovering, at least, because he did say he was done.
Yeah, true.
I have questions for him as well. Let me send them.
Are we just gonna stay here all day and talk to corpses?
Yes!
Technically not. We're just trying to figure out a bit more information before we go on our way to the next stop. We're not sure what we should do next. Is this troubling you?
I mean, it's all troubling me. What's troubling more than anything is where Gwen is right now.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to ascertain, but we can't.
Do you have an inkling of where they might have taken her?
We've got a few ideas. There is a possibility of them taking her back to the Institute. However, from my conversation with the other researcher that I've already relayed to you, that maybe it's not the case. He seemed like he was packing up to leave, and maybe they went to the cave-in we've told you about already, maybe? Where we found Gwen's husband. So, maybe asking Randy a bunch of questions would help us go towards the right direction. That's the problem. We are not certain where we should go.
What was in this cave again?
We can tell him that, guys, right? He's already here helping us.
Yeah, I think we can.
Is there a check that we can do to see if we think he's...
I'd say, because this is just like one conversation, I think Angsy's nat 20 to beat his 25 does stick through.
Let's fucking go. He doesn't seem malicious with his question.
As he's asking for more context, you see a lot of like cogs turning in his head, and he's trying to help figure things out, and he wants to assist you guys as best as he can, even feeling as out of place as he does here.
Okay. Well, it's only fair we bring some context to the situation, since I assume this is all fucking concerning for you.
Yeah.
So I basically relayed the information about the cave-in and what exactly was in there, because it would take ages to do so. And that's the information that prompted them to come here and find Gwen as well. Thinking that maybe instead of going back to the Zenith Institute and trying to discover information from her about her husband's research, maybe they took her there. I don't know.
So do they know where the cave is?
Technically, they kind of know, yeah. Not exactly, but I might have told them.
It's just a small clearing in the forest. It'd be pretty hard to find even if you knew it was there, I think. So this big door, do you know if they want to like open it, break it? What do they want to do?
That's one thing they might want to do. Another thing is maybe if they're related to all that, maybe they want to cover their tracks. That's another thing.
If they're already ahead of us, whatever they were going to do to the door, they've already had the time to do. So I don't know if it's worth chasing down a lead into the forest that we may not even find ourselves.
It's a good point.
However,
And it'd be another thought that just occurred to me is they'd be pretty hard pressed to drag a hostage with them the whole way. I think it's unlikely they've taken Gwen to the cave.
yeah. So it would be better to try and find a way into the institute then,
I mean,
possibly.
even just a single sheet of paper from their inside their walls could give you more context than anything a dead
Like
body
that.
even just a single sheet of paper from within their walls could give you more context than anything a dead body will tell you.
I'd assume so, but the second dead body actually discovered what they are looking for. Maybe at least we would know what exactly he found.
Is there any way we can get, like, maybe a man on the inside?
I don't know whether we can get a man on the inside. We can get more information about the institute itself from a friend of ours that's actually ruled it for a while in the past.
Oh,
Yeah. The only issue there is that when we spoke about the institute with him in the past, he lied about knowing anything. So this could be a bit
I mean,
bothersome.
is he a friend of yours?
He's been acting like it, definitely. But I currently don't really trust many people. I don't know. We could also, if we don't manage to make him tell us the truth by, persuasion or whatnot, we could always try and take the truth out of him in more violent manners.
I don't. That's certainly an option, but I won't have any part of it. Unless he's
the violent
implicated
manners.
himself directly.
Yeah. That would lead to such violent manners. But by violent manners, I don't mean hurting him per se. I was more talking about playing around with his head and making him tell us the truth.
It's possible.
Yeah. The only issue there is that if he's been helpful to us, and it would be nice if we don't lose a friend over such things. So what we can do if we actually head back to Rauhafert, we could possibly try and figure out more information about the institute, and we can try and
Who is this friend of yours again?
it's his name is Sprigget. Anders, could you show an image of him as well while we're at it?
Yep.
And you cast Minor Illusion and show 3D image of Sprigget. Oh, I know this guy.
You do? Oh yeah, he's a fan of yours.
He was outside the theater begging for tickets the other day. I love this dude. I didn't speak to him. I just kind of like watched on the sidelines, but seems like a lovely guy.
I bet he'd tell us everything for a ticket.
That certainly sounds like in line with what I know about him.
So see, there are no violent matters which we could pursue. What do you guys think? Should we give up on the idea of going back to the cave in and go to Rao Hafford and gather information, or what?
Then we run the risk of Gwen dying, assuming she's not already dead.
Well, that's thinking she's with them in there. She might be in Rao Hafford.
The thing that worries me is that he packed his bags, and I don't know if he's got
Exactly.
enough to the institute.
That's the thing that worries me as well. But also, there is no way of knowing whether the student actually lied to me, because I didn't check. Also, I honestly don't know. Like, if you remember correctly, she went towards the living quarters, presumably, and the lady came from a different place afterwards, so we don't even know whether the student tell us the truth or whatnot.
We don't. It feels like we know so little.
Exactly, we do know so little. That's the problem.
Finding Gwen is the biggest thing or biggest concern right now, right?
Yeah, but
And we don't have any spells that can help us find her.
we
We don't know
we
where.
can't.
No, we don't know where Dranth went. However, if we can get into the institute, and this Baronoff guy, if we could find him and corner him, we could maybe force him to tell us where Dranth went with Gwen.
By
If
the
we
look
could.
of Dax, I don't think we have a chance.
What? I was laughing. I was sorry. I was smirking at what Andrew's put in the general.
Oh, okay.
He is tilting, but it's still very funny.
I do believe that we should find more information on the institute. Maybe we should go back there and speak with Sprigget and then find a way to the institute. However, should we speak to Randy first or should we not?
I don't think Randy's going to give us any helpful information in finding Gwen.
Finding Gwen, maybe not, but maybe what they're after.
Potentially, but I don't think he shared anything with Gwen that he discovered after he was in the cave, because he died in the cave.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to give us any valuable information right now. We could maybe hold that, because we can only do it once every 10 days. We can hold that as something that we can do after we've spoken to Sprigget.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I think my thoughts now are, let's get back to Rao Hafford. Let's speak to Sprigget.
Okay, anyone opposing that?
I think there is some merit in speaking with him, just because
He's the only person that knows something about the place that we know of. That's the thing.
It is also the thing that can be done at any time because you're carrying the skull with you.
Oh, you mean the skull?
Yeah, so it would be no harm in speaking to Sprigget first and then just before you go in, speak to Randy if you want. Because again, it's an anytime thing.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind that if Sprigget helps us, there is a chance of him knowing how to speak with that, and he could possibly help us with that instead of us losing a spell slot.
This is true.
So we should probably go to him. In the meantime, I'm gonna craft my message for Magdalena and send it.
How much have we told Sprigget already about what we've discovered?
Nothing. I don't think we've told him much about it.
I don't think you've told him literally anything.
So we need to bring him up to speed on everything.
Yeah, and basically try to tell him how important it is for him to actually tell us everything about the institute.
Yeah.
So yeah, do we trust him with all that information, guys?
At this stage, we wouldn't be
Yeah.
sharing anything of him that we haven't shared with anybody else.
True. Okay. Shall we go then?
So it's back to Ralhafted
Been
then.
9 hours. Yes, I think that's the play currently.
All right, well, everybody gather around. Carnellin holds out his hand, and if each of you put a hand on him. He starts to mutter some arcane words under his breath, and you watch as swirls of little fiery embers start to encircle a big radius around you. And eventually it turns into a big firestorm that covers your eyes, and you can only see nothing but pure orange fire. And as it draws back and comes to a close, you find yourself in your room in the ladies' garden. The first thing that immediately comes to your attention is you are not alone here. Inside your room with you, there's a man lying on... Sorry, not lying. Sitting on one of your sofas with his feet up on the coffee table, holding his hands behind his head. It's Levant.
Oh no.
Here in your room. Jay, can you come into the call if you haven't already? Oh, he is here. Nice.
We already there and we recognized him already.
And he looked at you as you came into this room in a fiery tornado. He was completely and utterly unfazed and just kept calm, focused contact with you. Eye contact, that is.
Hello? What brings you here?
Is Carnelian currently disguised as him?
No, he's not.
No,
He's not.
Carnellin is being himself.
Yeah, I was considering asking that because that could have been
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
in its own way, couldn't it? Oh. First, I suppose I should ask, is this a bad time? You seem to have been flitting further afield than usual.
Definitely it's not the best time, but what brings you here? You can tell us.
First and foremost, I've already, as it happens, managed to confirm your intel about a doppelganger going around masquerading as me. As it turns out, I could have actually found that out sooner, but someone who did actually witness the event saw no reason to mention it. Not technically their fault, but irritating nonetheless.
You guys hear a faint chuckle from the corner of the room behind you. Jay, can you describe what they see leaning up against the corner of the room?
Yeah, just very faint, sort of almost just breathy chuckle, and you notice Levant immediately making no attempt whatsoever to hide himself.
Yep.
Maybe this one you wouldn't have noticed without them making a noise for a while anyway, because very short, nondescript figure, loose collection of variably grey cloths and cloaks, hood up, folded into the corner. Even looking directly at them, it's like your eyes are trying to slide straight off and look at anything else around. Once you do actually look over, though, and pay attention to them, you see they do seem to shrink a little bit. Like, just the eye contact is vaguely uncomfortable for them, and there's already perhaps a little bit of regret at making even that much of a noise. Also,
What-
one moment, because some cats have got into my room and someone's trying to coax them out.
What was the description of the person? Except for the great cloak?
Dark, shadowy person with
Yeah.
a hood. This is us.
His description of the character was they are nondescript. Isn't that helpful?
Yeah, exactly. So we can't ascertain basically a race or anything. Like there are no features or what.
Well,
I
they're
think
hidden.
it's reasonable that you could see fairly deep indigo eyes within the shadows of the hood that is pulled over. Also, just the fact that it seems to be obscuring the rest of their features so well would suggest potentially a darker skin tone.
Quick question, Dax.
Mhm.
How's the room lit?
Very, very dimly, and potentially
like,
by design.
How is it lit at all? Like,
There is rooms behind Levant that you can see that are just casting some light up to the middle of the room where he is on the sofa with his feet up on the coffee table. In the corner where this other figure was, it's near enough completely blank.
no, I don't mean that. Like, I mean, like, is there a torch on the wall, like in the room? Anywhere?
There is, but they haven't been turned on. They have a button under them that turns them on.
Is it like a fire thing, or?
Yeah, they're a
Just
fire torch, but there's a button that turns them on.
Okay.
It's
I
magic,
thought it was
baby.
Oh, it's magic. Okay, never mind.
We don't have to explain shit.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to use control flames to, brighten all the lights in the room.
You can still if you want.
Or I can't because they're magical.
I mean, still, like his eighth torch that's meant to
there
hold
exist
flame.
flames,
Yeah.
Didn't Zinni try to turn it on but be too short?
Oh.
You can absolutely do that, Zinni.
How tall is Zinni, by the way?
3 foot.
Very tall.
I mean, yeah,
Okay,
very
'cause-
tall.
No, I just wanted to have an idea in my head of if this one was shorter than them. It doesn't appear that they are.
Okay. I turn towards the creature that giggled, chuckled, whatever.
It's just a very sort of
Um,
soft, breathy laugh.
Right.
Yeah,
I've
sure.
not just watched me struggle with the light and just left it.
It's not. Oh, sorry, Jenny.
If
Go
Sid
to
was
war.
there, he would turn it on.
Vader will walk over and help Zinni turn the light on.
Sid would pick Zinni up and let Zinni turn it on.
Vader doesn't have Sid's strength.
True.
There's no confidence.
I mean, Zinni is a strong, tall gnome. Like, would it be fair for someone else to be helping? I believe
Well,
she
Levant
would
is
be
making
kind of
no
mean
move to get
towards
up.
them.
Levant is making no move to get up.
Anxie is not troubled with it at all. She's paying attention to the little creature there. Hello? I guess you've been the one that's been trailing us. Nice to meet you, I suppose.
Figure stiffens when you say that. And then you see those like deep indigo eyes glance over at Levant. They definitely had no indication that you suspected or knew anything like that.
I'd like to go closer to them. I believe you've seen us with a dark elf person with white hair and white piercing eyes. Is that true? That assumption?
Is it
Is it
drow? It's not dark.
I mean,
dark
like,
elf is a drow?
yeah, first Dark Elf is Drow. Is it worth clarifying here, though, Dex, a point of clarification on Dranth and White Eyes?
Yes,
Piercing
all
white
drows have
eyes.
white eyes in this place, sorry.
Yeah. Unlucky.
They,
Andres.
they nod a little, small motion, almost imperceptible, but they do nod.
Have you by any chance paid closer attention to them after they've left us? It's of dire need. We know what they've been up to. It's probably seem like a weird question currently, but it's quite important.
Tilt their head quizzically here, and I think I've got a message for something I was literally about to do. I'll
Okay,
free
good, good.
reveal here. Is it here? Levant pipes up and, with a little shaking of his own head, like, they're not particularly talkative. It may be better if I handle this, but based on the information we have and observations, not particularly of the individual I believe you're referring to, it's our understanding that potentially they've been kidnapped and you're trying to ascertain their location?
Quite the opposite. They've kidnapped someone and we are trying to ascertain their location.
Ah,
Yeah. It's been a long day, you know. So anyway, why are you here? I'm happy to meet your friend after so long, and good to see you again. I've actually got some questions for you. You never mentioned the sixth member of your party, and I was rather curious why. However, you're here and probably have questions for us, or I bet there is a reason. So what brings you here?
a few things, ultimately. As I led with, it was mostly a matter of having spoken to my operative in the corner over there. I was able to confirm that despite not really having a reason to that I can think of, you were being 100% honest with me, that someone else was going around pretending to be me for whatever purpose.
Bing, 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 bing.
'Cause
Carnellen starts tuning his lute in as he's sat down on a seat sort of close to Levant, and he does this trying to get your attention, Levant. Bing, 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 bing,
Oh,
bing,
successfully, absolutely.
I-
As though Levant is remotely a stranger to noises interrupting him.
I smile at him, and I use telepathic speech quickly on Cornellen. I'd assume you're about to bring him up to speed.
bing. Is all that you hear back. Yeah. Hey. That was me. Yep. Hey.
Carnellen.
Hi. What's your name?
Levant. Levant Howe. It's interesting to put a in physical person face to the mouth-frothing ranting that a certain silver-scaled moron that we're all taking instructions from has subjected us all to a number of times. You really do wind him up something fierce, so while I'm definitely going to come back to that whole masquerading as me thing, you certainly can't be all bad.
Oh. Awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was about to get laid into, but
Do
cool.
you think anyone who annoys Nathaniel as much as you do with your every waking breath would not be, in some way, a hero in my book?
Carnellen sort of has this slightly clueless look on his face that turns into a smirk and an eventual full smile. Well, I promise you it certainly wasn't intentional, but if that's what the audience asks for, I can certainly turn up the heat.
And here you do see, because previously Levant didn't smile once in the interaction with him, except right at the end when he was magically compelled to by a wand of smiles. Here you do see a genuine smile from Levant, and it is just malice.
I see the smile and I just check my wand to see if it's got off.
It doesn't look anything like that. That smile was like rictus, painful, forced. This is just like, it is the grin of someone who has darkness in their heart right now, put it that way.
I do want to still apologize for taking your form. I'm not usually used to meeting the people I borrow the forms of. It's just so that I can walk around unnoticed. I just thought you were like so handsome and all that. I just think, why downgrade myself so much when I can be on an equal level?
He's being truthful. That's what he told us as well.
Does Levant blush a little bit? I think he does.
Levant, is it?
Yeah.
Saying
Yeah.
that out loud.
Yes.
Yes, Levant. I believe that's already been mentioned.
Had any trouble with any doors lately?
And this was going so well.
Sorry.
Levant, I have a question.
Does it involve doors?
No.
Go on then.
Where was your friend last night?
Do you mean Nyx?
Is that, I point to the person in hood, is that who you're
Yes.
referring to?
Yes,
Yes.
that's Nyx. I hadn't realised that hadn't come up. I mean, I glance over at Nyx. Wherever is Nyx? Is it important? I assure you, if you're checking on their alibi, not only would whatever it was be bulletproof, they're not really the nefarious sort. Within reason, anyway.
Does
Another
Nyx have a
conversation is-
voice?
I've heard them make sounds every now and again, but I think they have some kind of moral objection to it or something. And you see Nyx start forward a little at this, like that touched a bit of a nerve. In any case, they're not really a talker.
Doesn't like any means of communication or just the talking kind. And when I say that, I start using telepathic speech on them. Hello.
As you had started like the verbal communication, you could see their arms and hands starting to make motions that would maybe be in line with some form of rudimentary or otherwise sign language. You don't know where they were going with it, but immediately stiffen when the mental voice comes through. And then you hear back like a little haltingly. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay, then
I'm going to learn how to do it one of these days. It'd be so much better.
I'm happy that's something that makes you feel somewhat comfortable, I assume. Not everyone enjoys it. I particularly love it. So hello, Nyx. Nice to meet you. I assume you somewhat know of us by following us. It's good to put a face to our assumptions.
It's good to put a face to the stalking.
No, to the assumption. We didn't really know he was stalking us, or she, or they.
You've only heard they so far, and
Yeah.
like what you see in the corner, like obviously the cloaks, they are cinched together, which does give you a decent idea of the shape of the body. But the shape of the body is basically just like stick thin and not really definitive one way or the other. It's between the sort of like the almost cowering nature of the being in the corner not moving from there, the short stature, and now observing the thin structure of the body. Waif energy is how I describe this, like street rat.
Nyx, would you mind coming towards us? I don't think anyone would hurt you or whatnot. Or maybe would you mind me coming towards you?
Why?
I suppose I'm curious.
About what?
You look curious. I no particular reason.
There's a pause in the mental communication, and then you see them just sort of raise both hands to the hood and lower it. Perhaps if just in the hopes that this is enough or is what you're asking for, and now you can actually see the features fully. One
Right.
slightly alarming thing to start with is that very reminiscent first and foremost of Dranth, this is a dusky grey purple skin tone, drow or drow adjacent, along with the reasonably long ears, maybe half drow, half elf drow. Pale lavender white hair, shoulder length, and a bit unkempt, honestly, which completely tracks of any assumptions you may have made about them already.
Yeah.
And still the facial features unadorned by any makeup or anything like that, and slight, so you're honestly still no closer to establishing if this is male or female or something in between.
Oh, that doesn't matter. And their eyes were indigo?
Yes, a deep indigo.
Yeah, I have that written down. Huh.
And now their face is visible, they're meeting your eyes a little bit more directly. There's an element of a challenge there, but also already visibly a, okay, can I stop doing this now?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you feel uncomfortable, you can cover yourself again. You look lovely though.
Quizzical
And
head
I
tilt to the side.
smile. What?
As a quizzical head tilt to the side of that.
Anxie,
Interestingly, they don't seem to raise the hood back up, though. They seem okay with this.
Anxie, remember what happened the last time you flirted with a drow?
I wasn't going to say it.
Currently, you're not hearing anything, by the way. That's telepathic speech.
Oh, this is an over-the-table accusation, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that's very
Never
out of
mind.
hand, Zinni.
My apologies.
I go back. I turn around towards Levant after that. Well, it's been great meeting more of your friends. You guys seem nice. About that sixth member of yours. Why didn't you mention anything about them?
Don't really understand your fixation on this. Did you go into that conversation and tell me every salient detail about everyone you've ever met?
Oh, I'm just extremely curious about people. See, I don't know many of them. But the reason I've been asking so much about it is that I worry a lot, okay? And you described or told me about only 5 of you. So I assume the 6th one might be dangerous or might be someone we know of. Therefore, it's been wild in my head, you know. That's why I'm asking.
At the risk of confirming the suspicions that, based on the glares I've been getting from Nyx at certain points in this conversation, I may have instigated, to my knowledge, the only one who's actively been around you outside of moments you're not 100% aware of is Nyx themselves. I did mention Sonora, yes. If you're going to meet the mysterious secret weapon that you're building up R6 to be, they'd probably be with her. In fact...
With Nyx?
No, with Sonora.
Oh, it's Sonora. Okay, sorry.
Yes, it's... because... I'll put it this way. Sonora enjoys fighting. I probably brought that across reasonably well by suggesting that she'd immediately run straight up to your barbarian and either shake his hand or try to punch him, and both of those would count as a greeting.
Mm-hmm.
Vitra are erstwhile Six. You could regard as the reason why we aren't thrown out of literally every single place we ever take Sonora to.
Right.
About the only person who could possibly talk her out of starting a bar brawl as a way of introducing herself to not just a new city, but frankly a new building.
Oh, and you didn't mention them because you didn't think of anything fun to mention about them?
I mean, I don't particularly like them, if I'm being honest.
Oh, that's a reason. Do I trust his reasoning? Do I believe that he simply doesn't like them?
Insight check.
I know what I'm doing in the background.
Alright. I'm not
That
worried.
might be Nix's character sheet that I had ready. Let me just call up Levant instead.
Nixie, are you not sus of Nix? I think Nix is a sussy character.
I think
You're very
they-
friendly.
How do you know?
Hmm.
I've not said anything.
You're like, oh, it's very nice to meet you.
You see, it's better to be nice to people when you meet them than be mean, I suppose.
Oh, Zinni wants to fight.
This is always
Why?
the fun thing with the telepathy. Is you just
She's
sort of
a
like
feisty
stare at
gnome.
someone.
But
Yeah, Zinni is looking at Nix in a very angry tone, like when a cat doesn't like someone.
The back arch. The teeth
okay.
out.
Okay, Zini, I don't feel like now is the time to fight. We have so much on our plate. I feel like you can leave that hostility for the arena.
I think Nix is one of the hooded people who went and took Gwen. That is an exact description of what Presto gave me in my dream.
He didn't say anything about Indigo Eyes, but yeah, I suppose.
But the rest of it matches.
You did
There are
only
multiple
describe
hooded
one
figures.
person's eyes.
Yeah. Well, there is a way of finding out whether that's true, I suppose.
That's why I said, where were you last night?
And got the very unhelpful answer that like
Mm.
Levant just said, well, wherever it was, they probably have an immaculate alibi.
Yeah. Nix. It's telepathic speech again.
And first, we should probably address the insight
Yeah,
roll.
the
Yeah, I assumed
As-
it was.
Levant's kind of hard to read.
Yeah,
he could be
right.
telling the truth, but you don't
Yeah.
really know.
Yeah, I assumed so. That's why I avoided it. Nix, you see, my friend here is quite suspicious of you because of the way you dress. She's been told that people with such description, clothing description, I would assume, have hurt someone. And we were wondering whether you were here yesterday or whether you've left town even for a short amount of time in the past day.
And this is the mental communication again, or is this
Yes, yes,
spoken?
yes.
Okay, mental, right.
They feel more
Right.
comfortable that way anyway.
Absolutely. It's been a fairly, like, modulated tone even over the mental voice. Here, weirdly, a little bit of indignation, in a sense, comes through, and just sort of... And you hear... Yesterday was one of the only days I wasn't following you.
That is sus!
That I believe that's what makes it suspicious, Nix. Were you in this town though?
Well, yeah, but... I don't know how you're going to confirm that, because no one notices me.
There are ways. Do I trust them?
Roll insight.
I mean, we roll...
better.
And I will just say,
We kind of did already.
fun. Hang on, remind me of the question?
The question was whether Nyx was in the town yesterday or in the past day. And
And Nick
They
said,
said-
I didn't follow you yesterday.
yeah, and then I was like, well, that's kind of the issue, and I asked whether they actually were here. And Nick said that they were here, but technically there is no one that can actually confirm that because they don't really see them. So the inside check is on whether they were actually here,
Okay.
as in whether they are lying about that, not on the fact that other people might not see them. Don't care about that.
Just uncrossing some wires in the background there, essentially.
Someone getting their story straight.
No, nothing like that. I mean, either way, it's just they strike you as a particularly charismatic character, whether I'm persuading or deceiving.
Definitely charismatic.
Nick saying that they just yesterday randomly didn't follow you doesn't really strike you as accurate at all.
That was on the inside check, though. The inside check was on the second statement, which was whether they were in the town.
I mean, just the whole sort of answer to your questions. So you get the feeling that they were following you yesterday and that they were in the town. This town, Ralhafted City.
So I got the idea that they followed us until we disappeared.
Yes.
It's the weird sort of thing, is like, they're kind of mutually exclusive. It's like, if they weren't in the town, they can't have been following you. But if they were following you, then they definitely couldn't have left the town.
I know, that's why I said I asked for an inside check on the second statement, whether they were. The first one, they said that they weren't following us. And we were like, okay, that's kind of suspicious. Were you in here? And then I asked whether I believed them. When they answered that they were in here.
Dix was following you yesterday.
But that wasn't the inside 4.
And you know that they stayed in the city when you left, because they
Thank
can't
you.
fucking teleport.
That was the inside.
You don't know that.
Shut the fuck up. Let's just move on.
Well, can't move on if we don't trust them. Okay.
I mean, my half-drow sat in the corner making no noise whatsoever. I don't know why you would think they were remotely untrustworthy.
Well, my companions think it, so I gotta make sure that they feel somewhat safe within this room. There is actually reasoning for it. I turn towards Zinni. I believe they were following us until we came here and disappeared. I don't think they left the town at all, Zinni. I don't think they have anything to do with it. Source? Trust me, I know.
Does that quell
Watching
Zinni's
you,
worries?
Nyx.
Oh shit.
Thanks for the answers, Nyx. Anyway,
I think it's still mentally before you continue.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it if I wasn't treated like all drow.
what do you mean?
Hearing descriptions, assuming, well, they must be one of them.
Oh, is that what it looks like? I'm sorry.
You didn't say it.
I thought it was only because you had a cloak on. But that could be it. I don't know. Technically, I didn't assume you were anything because you are a drow. I find you very charming.
I mean, I hate to mention, like, I'm wearing a cloak, doesn't mean I was involved.
Yeah, but that was the reason. I guess Zinni actually thought because they were a drow. I don't know.
That's the point they're making there, I'd say.
Yeah, Anxie is
Zinni, stop being
flabbergasted. She had no
racist.
idea. Nix, sometimes if you look at me, you might have prejudices or whatnot. And that's totally fine. I didn't think anything of your looks. I was just trying to help out clear your name in front of our friends, because they might not be trustworthy, trusting you. Sorry if that felt...
In front of our friends, because they might not be trustworthy.
Trusting you is what I
know,
meant.
I know.
I think we've
trying to be
avoided the
kind.
biggest question in the room for long enough. He looks
Yeah.
at Levant. Why are you here?
This has put me in a complicated position, frankly, because the reason I was showing up was to potentially pool information on the case of the person who was going around masquerading as me.
So, mission successful?
Yes, in a way that completely contrary to anything I would have expected it to be.
I believe it's even better though, because technically he didn't do anything wrong while looking at you. He was actually charming. He was being charming to some people, I suppose, but that's it.
As long as it doesn't place expectations on me in future interactions that I have no intention of meeting.
Mm.
But yes, it does seem there were worse people too.
If you do go to Marvellius Mysteries, just try to play along with the inevitable flirting.
Oh dear.
In all honesty, he was flirting with everyone at some point. He'll be fine. Talking about Marvellius Belly? Not Skernel.
If that covers anything, though, I suppose we can be on our way. And here, Nyx darts forward a little and brings both hands up in a small cross, and then looks expectantly at you, Anxie.
What's wrong, Nyx?
You said the drow the opposite. They were using you?
Yeah. They acted as if they were my friend for a while. And they've managed to gather some information that seems to be rather dangerous in their hands. So you see, Nyx, they're connected to the Institute, and they've taken a friend of ours. They kidnapped them, and we have no idea why. So we are trying to discover some information about the Institute itself and why they would take our friend. Would
I
you
want
be
to help.
interested? I'd love for you to do that.
Since this is once again a telepathic conversation, Levant is just looking between the two of you like, well, what's the problem?
Could you...
Are we not done here?
Are we not from here? Is that what you asked?
Are we not done here? Sorry.
I believe we're done here. We need to go get some more information. Would you like to come with us, or would you be more interested in peeking around the Institute and trying to see whether there are any people matching the description we gave you?
I'm quite good at that.
Which one would you prefer doing? Any information would be helpful for us. We need to figure out a way of entering the Institute, and also...
I don't like being seen.
Is there a way of you gathering such information without being seen?
Yes.
Would you be interested in doing that?
Yes.
I'd love for you to do that. Andres, could you please show an image of our friend Rand to Nyx?
Nice, yeah, do it.
Nyx nods, and if you're still maintaining the mental connection, I've seen you with him.
Oh, right. Yeah, forgot that detail. Yeah, correct. Also, there is another lady, and I give them description of the woman that was very mean to me. This person is a co-worker of them, and she might be doing sneaky stuff around the institute as well. Please take notice of their presence as well, if you see them. And I
Sure.
believe that's all I have for now. If there is anything, I can contact you. I can send a message to you if you don't mind.
Prefer it to being talked to.
Lovely. Me too. Well, thank you very much for the help. And before we move on, do I trust Nyx's intention of helping?
I'll say your insight carries from earlier, and yes, you do.
Okay, lovely. And I believe that's it.
They seem like already weirdly invested in this.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we should probably move towards our next destination, as discussed. Our friend here would look around for some of the people we are kind of on the look for. Nyx is willing to help.
Well, like, what? Why?
We have a connection, Levant. It's all right.
I imagine it must be a whole lot easier when you can speak in their head.
I actually like it. I prefer speaking with people that way, and it seemed they liked it more as well. So.
Well, you maybe see the gears turning a little bit in Levant's mind as he ponders this.
Are you feeling left out, Levant?
Don't be ridiculous. No, it's just... Well... Imagining Nathaniel learning that members of his team, as it were, the team that he took such pains to name, are just casually choosing to help the feared enemy that we will face in the arena, and who have been tormenting and vexing him so. Holds a certain appeal, don't you think?
I bet you really want to tell him. Is that what he was prompting to? Did I read it wrong?
Not necessarily that Levant would say, but that he was enjoying the idea of Nathaniel finding out. Whether, like, he'd be the one to help him find out, a bit more of an open question.
I understand that's something you would be interested in sharing with him, just so you can make him angry or whatnot, but...
Angrier.
I suppose. There are more important things than fighting us in the arena currently, and we can take all the help we can get. We really need it, and I would really appreciate it if you simply don't bother with it. Bother telling him, I suppose, if it's gonna hurt anyone here, especially Nyx, because they're simply helping. I'd hate for them to be bothered by Nathaniel's anger.
I wouldn't be fooled. They can handle themselves reasonably well. It's why I
Oh, I
scouted
bet.
them, frankly.
I'm not saying that they can't. I just don't want someone to bother them by speaking
Oh, if
to them.
Nathaniel was giving Nyx a hard time, then Vitra would deck him.
Like her? Okay, cool.
All right, as you two chat, Baylor, roll me animal handling check. 27. Whew, not 20. You get a bird's attention instantly.
seeing as they're chatting while this is all happening, I'll ritually cast Animal Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll send a message to Adrianus.
Mm-hmm.
I'll describe to the bird where to find him. And I'm sorry for ruffling feathers. Just trying to help. I will be there soon. Friend kidnapped related to the magic door in the tunnels.
Okay. Make sure you put that in your notes, and off we go. So, these teams are splitting up, and you guys are heading towards Sprigget's place, right?
I believe so. Do you think it's worth asking them how the fuck did they enter our place?
With someone like
actually-
Nyx by
isn't
their
our
side.
place like
Yeah.
a fucking like there's holes in it?
Yeah, there's a
Shit,
big hole
like-
in the floor still. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's got a
okay,
couple of
okay.
planks over it, but
I thought it was already fixed. Okay, because they said it would take a day.
They have a quote. I believe. I don't think
Alright.
it's-
Okay.
okay. So you're heading to Sprigget's place now, right?
I believe so. There's nothing else we would like to ask them, right?
Let's go to Sprigget.
Yeah, and for the sake of brevity, let's just basically skip right there. A little walk later, you find yourselves in the uppers, coming again to the familiar abode of Sprigget. I'm not sure if you guys know his name, right? His surname?
No.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
We might, maybe.
Might have been mentioned in the very first session you met him, but whatever. Who's knocking on the door?
Me.
Zinni, do you want to roll strength?
Please roll strength. It's just, you get to fight a door at the very least.
While we were
Avenge
getting
my group.
there.
No.
Oh,
Oh, that's the
no.
wrong one.
Oh, it's a strength save.
Where's the other one?
So you rolled a 6. It would be probably the same.
You click the actual stat itself. There you go, yeah. 9.
Bum 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 bum.
Who is it?
I forgot about the wife.
Hi.
I have no.
We're here to speak to Sprigget.
You hear the door immediately open up with a big swing. You again? What do you want messing around with my man?
I have no interest in your man, sexually or romantically. I simply just want to ask him a question because he's very intelligent and understands why I am the way that I am. Is that okay?
Alright, yeah, come inside.
Thank you.
I ain't even gonna make you roll intimidation on that. You just did it.
I mean, honestly, Zinni seems like he's in a mood, frankly, so I can believe there's passive intimidation going on.
Hell yeah. So, you guys are
Sassy.
led into Sprigget's abode.
In a fight with my half elf.
Jay, I don't believe we need to have you around anymore for the moment. Would you be alright jumping back to spectator mode?
Absolutely fine, and frankly, if assuming Nyx wouldn't like just wait outside by default, they're unlikely to contribute anything to the conversation unless specifically asked. So,
I don't think Nyx is going to be here. She's already off trying to like
Okay,
spam the
fair.
institute.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's
We'll
split
see
up
what I
now.
can learn. Okay, have fun.
Okay. You guys are all brought into Sprigget's living room. You sit around the place. For context, from now on, Sid is no longer here, so it's just you four. Because it's just not. I don't want to go through the labor of playing his character while he's not here, and I don't have to. So, you are now in Sprigget's house. It's nice to meet you all again. A little shocked it's happening so soon and so frequently. Isn't that right, dear? Very shocking. Yeah, it is a bit shocking, isn't it? But, you know, if needs be must, Lord knows marrying such a smart man comes with these pressures.
Is Cornelius still with us?
Canal is with you, and he did disguise himself as some random person he saw out in the streets before he left when you guys were walking here. And he is still now amongst you guys in this disguise. I don't believe I've quite met your friend there.
Yeah, this is Dave.
Dave. Hello, Dave. Hey. Okay.
So, Sprigget, we apologise for coming by unannounced and so soon.
It's quite
But-
alright.
We have an urgent matter, and we really need your help, and we have some questions.
Oh, is it more revelations? I shall always be happy to assist.
Not quite. It's actually to do with Zenith Institute.
Oh. Curious, I don't know too much about the place myself.
You see, Sprigget, this is where my concern begins. When we getting him to speak by Brahmin tickets.
You don't play your hand straight away. Go ahead, Tony. You're on the right path.
So, am I okay to proceed and say that we know that he used to
Yeah,
work
go ahead.
there?
You,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. You should be fine, yeah.
Sprigget. Wait, what was it? Was he the headmaster?
He used to rule it. Basically, he was the boss there before the current one.
Sprigget, we know you used to be the ruler of the Zenith Institute.
Ah. Hmm.
Sprigget, why did you tell us that you had no clue about the Institute at all?
Ah. I'm terribly sorry to have lied to you. It certainly wasn't out of malice. I just, It's a part of my life I've tried to move away from. I still very much enjoy helping the youth and the less understood about accepting and acknowledging their latent and their latent powers. But after being disposed from my role at the Institute, I just prefer not to associate it with it anymore, if you should understand.
We would like to know more, honestly, because we have some concerns about the Institute. And Sprigget, if I may, I'm a little disappointed because I've put a lot of trust and faith into you. I know that you've been lying to us.
I know, but in my defense, and he holds his hands up very meekly and it's like got his head down as he like looks up at you faintly. I did tell that little white lie before I really knew any of you, and when I was just introducing myself. I didn't mean anything by it. It was just a laborious conversation that I'd rather not have had. You're all a group of wonderful, amazing people, and I should rightly like to stay on your good sides and maintain good relations. I just, once you tell a lie once, you can't just take it back because it looks weird, and then it just went down a road, and here we are. Yes, I was the ruler, the one that presided over the Zenith Institute for the while. The Grand Overseer is the proper title. But Baronoth came round, spoke a lot of big ideas and reformations that were needed to the school, and I was not willing to put up with them, and he effectively cooed me out of my position. History books won't tell you that, so it may seem a lie if you've looked it up, but the reality is that is what has happened.
Why do you try to hide that past?
It's just rather shameful, isn't it? A teacher, a professor, the Grand Overseer, thrown out in his likely last years anyway. And then immediate rules changes across the boards, the erections of the barrier preventing regular people from walking amongst the students, all just Changes that I would never have made myself, but then were suddenly implemented once I was gone.
But it's your story to tell.
And it's also my story to not tell, if you understand. It's not out of secrecy, it's out of shame.
You see, there is nothing to be really ashamed of. It seems like they've turned it into a rather dangerous place after you left.
The students used to still occasionally come and talk to me, the ones that I'd made good connections with, but from what I understand, Baronoth has slowly started to discourage contact with myself, and I've now fallen out of favor with any contact I may have had there. I'm sorry.
Tony?
Was Dranth one of your students?
Dranth, not sure I know someone by that name.
He's a researcher there.
Oh, I have heard of these researchers that Baronoth brought in. No, they all arrived after my time, and I do not know any of them, sorry.
Do you know anything about what they do inside of the Institute, or?
Try as I might to have figured it out initially, I gave up swiftly because it was a very tight-knit and closely kept secret, one that I didn't want to seem too sour over not knowing. But,
Forget. May I ask a favor?
of course.
And this might seem a little... I don't know what the correct word is here. Like, I'm asking a lot, and Spriggett might not like what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to ask?
If you can help us get like a map of the Institute or something.
I mean, technically you can present it as that you understand why he hid that part of his life from us. However, we need help with it, and you could after that ask him whether he can provide some insight on the structure of the institute, or how we can get to it, or anything like that. Get inside of it. I don't know. I don't think it's a big ask, though.
We think that members of the Institute are up to no good.
Oh.
We have very strong reason to believe so.
Right.
And that they're putting lives into danger.
Oh. That is concerning.
I'm telling you this in complete... Why can't I words today?
It's alright.
Confidence. So please do not discuss this with anyone else.
Zinni, I've always treated all our conversations with the utmost confidence.
Is he truthful with that statement?
Roll insight.
I'd love to. Oh,
Oh dear. Can I try?
Yeah, Zinni, I think you get to roll as well. That's fair.
Yeah, you should.
Saved.
You study him as he talks to you, and he's really, really earnest when he's talking to you, particular Zinni. And you feel that there's a great fondness there, and a sort of similar dynamic that he's been missing for a very long time. He seems to be telling the truth.
Frigate, we would like to understand the structure of the Institute. If you have a map or something, or any indication as to how we can get there so that we can further investigate and...
Well, I'm not too quite sure about a map, but I could tell you, like, roughly where the teaching rooms and living quarters are. Should that be of any assistance?
Definitely would be.
Could Sprigget show us? Could Sprigget come with us?
We can show him a map.
Sprigget
I guess.
reminds me of Heimerdinger.
Loki, yeah! I love that for him, actually.
Did you say you bring out and show him the map?
I'd say so, yeah.
Oh, well, you know what I could do? If you should give me just 1 second, I could draw a general floor plan of the vicinity to show you, roughly, you know, the approximations of, like, rooms.
That would be wonderful.
Of course. And so he focuses very intently, and meanwhile his wife goes and gets the rest of you drinks, just the glasses of water, make sure that you can still talk happily. And after about 20 minutes of furious doodling, here is a floor plan map of the Zenith Institute.
Oh, you've actually got it! Okay.
Oh, well done, Sprigget.
This is very detailed, Sprigget. Wow!
Oh, I mean,
You're quite the talented artist.
I do try my best.
Sprigget, do you know how we can bypass the invisible force wall at the entrance of the institute?
Oh, yes, you're referring to the repel mundanity. Yes, it's a rather simple affair, honestly.
Yeah, that word.
It's a neat little spell that some arcane and sometimes even non-arcane places use just to keep the rabble out, so to say. A certain item could be designated, and should that item touch an individual person, it can grant them access. It's a rather weak barrier overall, though. It's, again, only meant to keep the mundane out, hence the name of the spell. Just applying any kind of force damage via a spell would immediately dispel it.
Do you know what an item that would let us in without, dispelling it, whatnot?
It'll be whatever item's been designated by the person who's created the spell, so it's not something I'd be aware of, sorry. And it's certainly something they would keep within the barrier itself.
So destruction it is.
Are there any other ways into the Institute that you know of besides through the main gate?
I mean, there's up and over the walls. You could also just teleport directly into there. It's an open courtyard, after all. Well, blinking's probably the better idea. Just, 'cause, smaller distance, need not waste an entire teleport.
I'd assume any spells like Dimension Door would work as well. However, we don't have them. Oh, Misty Steps. Alright, so we have means of bypassing this thing. What do you know about the Void Stone that's used for the buildings?
Oh, Voidstone, yes, it's a really magnificent material, naturally occurring, of course. Very, very expensive, and I was so marveled to see a majority of a building created out of one, or at least lined with one. There are many rooms further in, especially towards the back of the Institute, where there's just the entire rooms are encased with voidstone. Of course, they were used. I don't know if you know this, but the place used to be a prison. It was used to house the people. It doesn't stop any magic from being cast, but it will not be affected by any magic. And if you are within an enclosed area, any magic that is cast either without or within the place cannot pass through. And so, when it was prison, it was used so that the warlocks that were in prison there could not speak with their patron, and so on and so forth. And that's why Kelthar, the person who took over the Institute, saw it as a great place for a place of arcane learning, because you could have an entire building. You could have an unruly student cast fireball and it not burn down the entire property. It was rather a magnificent idea.
Would that technically mean that if you're fighting within one of these Voidstone rooms, people from the outside wouldn't really know that's happening? Or does that mean that sound actually transpires outside of the room?
Well, I mean, sound can be heard through it, but magic cannot breach it.
Okay, it was question for that, but it's Frigate answering it is good as well.
It'd be similar if
I
someone
see.
tried to use scry on you if you were within the building. They just wouldn't be able to reach it.
I've had a few sending spells not arriving because of it.
Uh-huh.
We are quite aware.
I'm sorry, but if you don't mind me asking, what exactly are you planning to do? And why the sudden fixation with the Institute?
It is pretty... I was very curious about this place and the researches they're doing. And while trying to find out more, I thought I found a friend. One of these researchers. And it seems like they've used me for information and used it against us. And now they have kidnapped a friend of ours.
I'm so terribly sorry, Anxie. And you watch as he sort of like instinctually reaches over and sort of grabs a hold of your hand and just looks at you sadly before he like you watch as his eyes like dart across the room and like slowly let go of your hand and take his hand back. I'm so terribly sorry that such a thing would happen. Betrayal of trust is hard to come back from, and I should hope that it shouldn't stifle your other personal relations that you may pursue.
We shall see.
So, outside of the betrayal, I'm not exactly sure what's happened.
Neither
Wait,
are
what?
we.
Ask him.
I'll look over to Zinni and I'll just give that reassuring nod, kind of indicating I think we can tell him everything.
About Gwen and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that I've told him everything because I don't want to waste time.
Yeah, for the sake of brevity, sure. He reacts
The
very
tunnels, the whole works.
yeah. He reacts very shocked to this information. He's very enthralled when you tell him about the island's history, because though it wasn't something of his field of research, he can still appreciate the academic value of it, and even the non-academic, just the curious, like, just independent historian value of it. And he is truly shocked by what he hears. I knew that the Institute was going downhill and that Baronoth's researches were somewhat shady, but I had no idea that anything would go to this length. I do awfully hope that you are able to find your good friend.
We're hoping that we can find something in the Institute.
I should hope that you will find her. I can't imagine
Yes.
that Baronoth would just murder in cold blood, but you've said that you have seen it with your own eyes, and...
You better not be pissing again.
All right.
Peanut! Peanut! Sorry, Jolly. Watch out. You keep spraying.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Isn't this what you have a man for, game? To take care of it.
Away. He's done a little wee again! Peanut's weed on my rug again!
Oh man.
Yeah. He fucking kept eye contact with me the whole time as well!
My guy.
Peanut, my rug isn't a toilet! You've got a litter tray! Does it need cleaning?
Oh.
I emptied it this morning.
Wow, that's happening, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my party, Dax, but sure, you as well. Do you think we should maybe find a way to the Institute and try to do a quick sneak-in mission? I don't know.
I think we should.
I mean, you're going
Uh,
to disagree with me here, but I think we well, those of us who can, just to step in sneakily, sneak
Yeah.
in, find her, get her to the courtyard, make a distraction, and then leave. We can break the barrier on the way out to get her out,
I don't think we have to.
and then we can escape
Do
through
a
the tunnels to
distraction.
the other side of the city. I mean, we need to get her out, and they're not just going to let us leave. So we need a distraction.
We need to think about it appropriately, though, because if we fuck up majorly, keep in mind that we are supposed to be in this town for a while longer.
Okay, so the options are, considering it's basically a prison break,
Yeah.
unless you're planning on literally managing to somehow dodge everyone, your options are either kill them or distract them.
Mm-hmm.
I think distracting them is going to be less of a political impact.
I think we need to find a safe way to distract them, though.
Yeah, I don't think we should be spawning golems or elementals. Sorry.
I think an elemental should be our last resort.
Because it would put us in danger. So
I mean, we're doing a prison break from evil mages / warlocks.
I meant inside the town, we would be kind of seen upon us, people that are spawning fucking elementals everywhere.
They could literally teleport next to us while we're sleeping.
Yeah, I guess.
We can teleport out of the Institute once we have Gwen.
That's true as well.
So we just need to get it and find her.
Mm-hmm.
Did Sprigget indicate on this map where the sort of prison cells were, where they were?
Well, have you tried to reach Gwen at all?
Yes, I tried casting sending on her and it failed.
If it's failed, they've either equipped it with some kind of magical item that would prevent such magics, or she's being held within one of the totally confined Voidstone rooms, which, for the majority, are the what I at least previously knew to be classrooms and exercise rooms, which line the back wall of the institute. There is a small basement-like room as well that I've indicated with a little X on the map there. So it's any room that is along these back walls from this one over to this one.
And how we can enter this place?
There's doors here, here, and here.
So the closest would be here.
It was this one.
Here? Yeah. So we somehow need to get there. Sprigget, do you know whether there's always a lot of people around this place? Or when students and teachers and everyone that's related to the academic part of the institute are gone from this building?
I've heard that students have been on the downward trend, and that not a lot have been taken back in, and those that would finish their studies would leave, and their place is not filled. I know that population of the institute has been depleting, though every time that I happen to be strolling by, I do see still plenty of people walking in between the courtyards.
Sprigget, if we were to enter the institute and we'd want to disguise ourselves, how best would we fit in? Do they have a uniform?
There isn't a strict uniform, but all the students do wear cloaks, purple with black trim.
Do you happen to have any spare cloaks that we could borrow?
I do still happen to have my Grand Overseer cloak, though that one is a bit
That would
different
be
and
noticeable.
not something I'm willing to give up, sorry.
I need to go to the toilet if that's all right with you.
Sure, go for it.
Where is it? No, I'm asking Sprigget.
Oh, of course, by all means. People love using Sprigget's toilet.
Well, I can't fucking transform it in the middle of everyone.
Oh shit, okay.
Once I get into the toilet, I'd use shapeshift and I would turn into the girl we saw, Pansy or whatever her name was.
Okay. And you have a cloak on with this disguise.
And I go back to the rest. It's a quick one, sorry.
Sprigget, how closely does the institute work with the lordship of the city?
Oh, not at all. The institute
the
is
Lord
totally
not-
independent. They do not herald to any sort of allegiance with the lordship. Oh my god, who are you? As Anxie, disguised as Pansy, comes walking in.
Oh, does it work? Do I look different? It's Anxie.
Actually, you look, yes, very different.
Awesome, then it works. And I go to the rest.
Right.
Do you know this person, Sprigget?
I know Axie, but I do not know this form you've taken, no.
Oh, unfortunate.
What for missed?
It's the form of the student we spoke with. Is this a rope of a student or a researcher, Sprigget?
But that's a student. The researchers, as far as I've seen, don't have any uniform whatsoever.
Good, thank you.
I'm sorry, your friend Dave has been really quiet throughout all of this. Are we quite okay to be talking amongst them?
Oh yeah, he's the sole reason we are here. He's been helping us a lot.
And I'm sure in return he can get you some tickets to a concert.
Well, I thought you were already getting me tickets.
Were we? Oh, Zinni asked. Oh, right.
That seriousness of the moment aside, that is still on the table, right?
A ticket?
Yes.
You promised him, Tony.
I want Sprigget to come with us to the Institute. Can he come?
I'm sure maybe Cedric wouldn't care about his ticket.
No, she's saying to
then-
the Institute.
Oh, to the Institute. Oh, sorry.
And then his reward is the ticket.
We've booked like a box balcony type thing for the concert, haven't we?
Yeah, but we got tickets. I have 5 tickets on me.
I just give him my one.
I mean, it is a box balcony, and you are in the best seats in the house.
How many seats are in the box balcony?
You were asked about how many seats you would want to have in there. It's customizable.
So we can go back and add.
But we asked for an
some seats
extra
in.
one. I mean, we've got the fucking star of the show with us, disguised as Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get a seat or two added into the
Poor
box.
Kernellan.
Dave looks
Um,
pretty awkward right now.
I look at him and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just give him one of the tickets I've already got. We'll get a new one later.
You can't because they're on me.
So I'm saying, why didn't you give him one? And we can just get a new one. I can get a new seat added next time we're down there.
We don't have to do that now. I don't know why we are focusing on this exactly.
You're trying to. Well, Zinni was trying to convince him to come with us, and
Yes, but
there's no reason for that.
she literally said that we can give him a ticket after if he comes with us.
Yep, never mind.
So why do it before?
Well, I believe you did already promise me a ticket. I mean, it would mean an awful lot to me to go. But us being friends and all, I thought we were already said and done with those negotiations.
Told you that's gonna bite us in the ass.
Wait, is Sprigget upset that I've said come with us and have a ticket?
You've already promised him to get a ticket, and now
promised him.
you're dangling it in front of his face, being, no, actually, you're only going to get it if you do this.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Sprigget loves Zinni, so it's fine.
right.
I mean, if I must, I must, but I'm sure to confess
Sprigget, this is not just any old ticket. This is the best ticket at the show. We have VIP ticket.
You have the box seats?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
You watch as he takes a deep breath in, looks up to the ceiling. I I'm ready.
Well done. So, are we about to organize a prison break?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
With Miller.
Dave?
Yeah.
Surely someone got that.
Got what?
There's a TV show called Prison Break, and it's
Yeah,
starring
yeah, yeah,
Wentworth Miller.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't hear.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
I hate to add more planning to all this, but shouldn't we consider like where we're going to put her after? Obviously,
We
our
are
home's
about
not
to
safe.
do that. I'm trying to make sure that our teleportation and the person that's been helping us is feeling somewhat comfortable with the idea of continuing to do so. Because we've been using this man a lot.
Why do we need teleport? We're, like, right
Teleport
next to him.
out? No, I mean when we are leaving. Like, if we are continuing to use the help we have, we should make sure that they are willing to give us that help. Like, we can't assume that this NPC is just part of our party and they're okay with doing whatever.
No, I wasn't planning on teleporting out, but if you want to teleport out, then yeah, go ahead and ask him.
It's not about teleporting out, but it's an extra help, which we definitely need. And I know all of this has been a lot. Are you still okay with helping us?
Of course. Yes. Yes. I want to see this through and make sure Gwen is safe.
Can I tell that he's concerned about it all, or whether he's second guessing whether he should come?
Roll an insight check.
Don't hate me, please, Alex. Yeah, I believe Everton.
He's a little hard to read. He's definitely, this whole day has been decently emotionally shaken up,
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard to get a beat on it.
And I nudge him and say, "Don't forget, we need that extra seat."
That's easily remedied.
Yeah,
I give him a wink.
Let's hope we can happily enjoy the concert tomorrow after finishing our job here.
It's tomorrow. Oh.
Is that the character reacting, or?
Yep.
I used telepathic speech on him. We can help you. We can help you practice.
No.
So,
It's fine. I'll be fine.
Does Sprigget notice this reaction and interaction?
He's clearly paying attention to the conversation now, and then Dave says, "The show must go on." And he watches Sprigget's eyes slowly start to widen, and you see him slowly start to hyperventilate.
Oh,
Sprigget
right.
realised who he is.
Yep. Okay, team. Shall we start thinking how exactly we're going to enter the place?
With Sprigget's help, of course.
Well, but how? So, the best place to enter is here. We need to figure out how exactly to get
Can
there.
you ping again?
Yes, because she's
Okay.
probably here in the I can't think of the word.
Baba Booey.
Basement. Yes, that's the word. So
We either jump over the walls. I don't know how tall the walls are, but I'd imagine they're fairly tall, and that's going to be quite admission.
There
now.
is no possible walls there because it seems like the building itself is like a part of the wall there. Is that
Yeah, it would be climbing up the wall over the roof and then getting down on the other side.
And I'm not very good at that.
Or we go through the main entrance in disguise.
I don't know how that's gonna work either. But we could. I already look like someone.
Could what level spell does your pearl power restore?
Whatever level I use. Why?
Not give it to Cornelia and he uses that, and he has 2 to teleport again.
I'm
Teleport
sure
in
it
and out.
has a.
It only restores up to level 3 spell slot.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's what I asked, but yeah, okay, no mind.
As you start
I'm checking.
discussing this, you notice that Sprigget is now sweating bullets and staring at Dave.
Sprigget, please focus up.
That's he's
It's our friend Dave. It's just Dave.
Dave, brand new friend, never seen before. Show must go on. And you watch as Dave just gets the biggest smirk across his face and looks at Sprigget just with a and just gives him a wink. And Sprigget just and just immediately jumps out of his chair and starts pacing around the room.
Frigate just ejaculate.
Wait, did he drop his disguise self? I didn't
Nope.
pay attention. Okay.
Just give him a wink.
Okay, please focus up.
So how many of us can Misty step through the barrier?
Possibly all of us. Does Zini has it prepared? Do you have Misty Step?
What's a Misty Step?
Second level spell.
I do
It's
not
like a
have it.
blink somehow. Okay. Sprigget, Carnellon, can any of you? Oh,
He's in my house.
I'm sorry. I look.
Kind of
Colonel,
love
I've been the
Sprigget.
biggest fan ever since I've been to your last concert. I've never really been into music before, but I'm so glad that you're here. I've got a sense of artistry that I never knew was possible before. I just wanted to say thank you, thank you. I'm just like so ever so grateful that you could open my eyes. It's just and he watches Dave stands up and removes his disguised self, and all that stood before you is Carnellon, given the most dramatic pose you've ever seen, hand up in the air, staring down at the floor. Yeah, it's me. And Sprigget stops talking and stops rambling and just stares at Carnellon, mouth agape. So you're going to be up in the box seat, huh? He just can't get words out.
Frigate, keep it cool. You don't want to look like an idiot in front of Carnellon.
I think we're well past that point.
I feel like you can redeem yourself by helping us now, and by focusing up. So can any of you help Zini get into the institute? Because all of us can technically Misty Step into it. Please focus up.
If we're trying to sneak in, do we really want a team of like 7 people sneaking in?
We would be 6, and the other 2 are high level people. Well, I don't know about Sprigget. I really don't want to use suggestion on him to chill out. Oh.
Colonel, would you like a drink? he starts. His whole face is going red, like he's just like he's trying to hold in a scream. I've already got up water. It's fine. Of course. Sure.
Bridget, I think your wife just called you. Yep, there she goes again. She just called you.
Yes, dear.
You should go and see what she's doing.
Yeah, yes, dear. And he stiffly
down.
stands
Calm
up and
down.
walks away.
I can possibly cast Misty Step on both me and Zinni.
Misty
With
Step is a
twin
self
sword.
only, is it not?
Oh, I
fuck
believe
me! I'm
both.
getting eye floaters from tensing up so much. Ooh.
It's self. I'm just trying to move this along and it's not working.
Can Carnella not just teleport me in there?
Well, I wouldn't
Jesus.
use teleport for that.
Mm.
He
I
has a lot of good stuff to bring, like find traps, locate object.
The
Could we
thing
not
is,
send a small group of people in and then have everyone else waiting outside? If stuff happens, then the people outside can use force
Well-
to break a barrier and can help us.
for them to break the wall and get towards us, that's a couple of actions.
Yeah, but
And if shit hits the fan, we might die in these couple of
it's
actions.
several actions from
Yes.
just the Blackstone towers to the stairs. Not even the upper courtyard, just to the
Exactly.
stairs is like 300 feet alone. Probably
but if
400.
planning on sneaking and having a group of 8 people sneak in, some of which can't disguise themselves.
I mean, I can
But
make
you can either be
Zinni
sneaky, or
invisible.
you can have a lot of people.
Is there a chance we can wait for the cover of nightfall?
Yes?
We could possibly.
We could, but we don't know what's happening to Gwen between now and then.
That is a concern. So, who here has their own blink ability?
I do.
I do.
And Andrus, I believe.
I think Andros is Misty Step, right?
I could take myself and one other with Dimension Door.
That would be lovely. I believe Zinni needs help with that.
And once we're out, I could take us out with my final teleport.
And I believe that's the best we could do with it. So we've got the means of getting in and getting out. How do we get inside of the building without being noticed is the question.
So
I could
If-
make... Sorry, yeah?
if somebody Misty Steps, do they Misty Step with everything on them?
I believe so, yeah.
So if I had to wild shape into something like a small mouse,
I can Misty
I
Step
don't
on
think
who-
other
three?
creatures would go. It's a cast on self.
Oh,
Things
yeah, I
that
believe
you've got
so.
equipped to you, but you can't necessarily equip another creature.
You can't equip a gnome?
No.
As much as they would love riding on someone's shoulders, I don't think a gnome would be counted as equipped.
Okay, my thinking is we Misty Step Dimension Door inside. I believe Carnellan could possibly even Dimension Door inside the building itself. We can't really Misty Step there.
Where do you Misty Step though? Because that's only
I
got a range
believe-
of 30 feet.
Yes, I don't think we can Misty Step from. Are you looking at the thing?
Yeah.
From here to here. I don't think that. Oh, it's not pinging.
We can
I
just
was
use it
thinking there, yeah, but that would have been the best, and I don't think we can do that from here to here.
You know, that's an entire building. That's definitely not
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
work.
So I believe we should misty step here. And then was the door here, the closest to this one? Why doesn't it let me ping here?
Yes, that's the closest door.
So we need to misty
we
step.
can't do that. You can only teleport to a space you see. If there's a wall in the way, you can't do that.
Ooh.
Oh, right.
Can you not just go through the door?
We can, but that's a lot more. Like we will be visible from here to until we get inside the building, which is a lot. Like people will see us.
I mean, so we can get in here. The place you previously marked is not letting me.
Where? I didn't see
Hang
it.
on. It's a fresh day, right?
Yeah.
What are those walls made of?
Void
I don't
stone.
know. No, the walls are not made of void stone.
Yeah,
It's
thought
just
everything was.
buildings.
No, the outer walls of the Institute are made of void stone.
Are they? Oh.
It's still stone, though, right?
Yes. What do you have in mind?
We know that we have a wand.
Oh no.
That it's a fresh day, so we know it minimum has one charge on it. We can use that wand to make a hole in the void
That's not
stone wall.
how the charges work. It isn't a guaranteed charge each day. It's a chance of getting a charge each day.
It's a 1d4, right?
And it costs 4 charges. So there's a 1 in 4 chance on the first day you have enough charges.
And as really wanted to remind me of the last few sessions is you can't use it on magical stone.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is the stone magical, or is the stone just
It's
something
stone
that
that's immune to magic. I'm pretty sure that counts.
It's a stone that basically
it
keeps
dampens
magic away.
right?
Yes.
So, does that mean we can't cast it on the stone?
Not sure. I have a question. What's the floor here made of? Is it stone? Or is it void stone as well?
It's regular stone.
We could potentially dig in here. I don't know if that's stone or earth or whatnot, and then get a hole here. But that's like a lot of work. And it's gonna be noticeable for sure.
Where's Sid? He could smash through that wall.
That's gonna be so noticeable.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, so
We could also just blink past the barrier at the towers. It's an option.
you
We just-
mean in the entrance here?
Yeah, and just walk all the way.
We could, but we would be noticed by people.
I mean,
We
we can
could be
disguise
noticed.
ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't just get a ladder. No, I mean seriously, get a ladder so we can see over the wall and then Misty step down.
That's gonna be still noticeable though.
It's less noticeable from walking past the guard points at the entrance.
I suppose.
Which brings me back, or makes me think, sorry, if the wand isn't going to work on the wall, would Dimension Door work on the wall?
Dimension Door takes you anywhere within 500
Yeah.
feet.
Okay.
You and +1.
You don't have to be able to see it, so it's
Yeah.
easy.
It's got specific rules for if where you're trying to teleport is already occupied, you take a fuck ton of
Yeah.
force damage.
Alright, so, here's my thinking, right?
Yeah.
Zinni and Connell and Dimension Door in over here. Down at the bottom.
Where? Yeah.
You, or Eggsy and Andros can Misty Step through here.
I
Okay.
can get in through any of the walls. I just use levitate to sort of climb my way up. Yeah. Pull my way up and then just
Can you
step
do that?
down. You can change your vertical height with levitate, yes.
But how high can you go?
Well, if you hold, if you're pulling on a wall as high as you want.
Got it.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
1 second.
I'm just thinking that you two have a way to disguise yourselves as students, so you could easily come in through
So
here, right?
next, check the description. The target can move. Well, I mean the target, but you have even more movement when you use it on yourself. But you can move. Move by pushing or pulling against a fixed object, by like a wall, for example.
Hmm.
It allows you to move as if you're climbing.
Pulling against a fixed object, it would mean that you'd have to have sufficient handhold to be able to cling yourself to the wall.
You're not.
It's gonna make you roll for it.
I mean, the amount of friction you'd need to push yourself up would be basically nothing.
It's not really like a 0G spell, though, is the thing. Levitate makes it certainly easier and would lower the DC, but like, for example, it'd be a lower DC if the wall has like sufficient grip holds, but it would be harder if it's smooth.
Okay, well, you can also use the magic action just to move the target, so you can move them magically as well.
20 feet in either direction on your turn. If you are the target, you can move it. Yeah, fuck it. Levitate's a good spell.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
It'd take you a couple turns in a row, but you absolutely could make your way up it.
So it's only me that has to go through the gate. Great.
And then I have a way that I can get in there as well at the bottom. It's a bit rude of Cole, so I'll have to run it by Dax. But if I find familiar, have the familiar fly up and see the other side, I can link with the familiar and see the other side as well through the familiar's eyes. Can I then Misty step to that spot?
I mean,
Fuck
alternatively-
yes, I'd allow you to do that.
I'd love to see that.
Alternatively, other than like, the problem is like I'm spending half my spell slots to do this. Could we not just break the barrier down and just run in with 8 people?
What?
Or do we need to be sneaky?
I mean, it's gonna be easier for us to get like that inside, because one person entering through the to the entrance would be less suspicious than 5 people together, because we've not seen really people walking around together there. Especially for Zini, because she can't really change her form. She would be kind of suspicious looking there.
I mean, she's gonna be inside anyway. Doesn't matter if she's suspicious.
Why would
by
we
the door or by
break
the-
it then? It's only me that has to. I mean, I guess if you don't want to miss the step.
Andros, also, your levitate can carry up to 500 pounds.
You can carry me. Technically. I weigh way less than 500 pounds.
I would hope so.
So even better, like...
I mean, I'm just a bit confused. It's like we're trying to be really sneaky to get in, but there's 8 of us, and half of which like aren't disguised.
It's not
And we're just
8
gonna
of
wander-
us. It's
But-
5 of us.
There's 5 of us: Sprigget and Cornelian.
It's 5 of us with Cornelian, and I don't think we should get Sprigget. He's right now...
Carnellon. Please.
Yeah, sorry. He said it Cornelian, so I got confused.
Okay, 6 people then. That's still a
It's
lot of
5. Who's the
Fi- five.
6th?
We just had the whole thing of convincing Sprigget to come with us.
Well, right now he's going crazy. I don't think we should take him, and we don't even know that he can blink. I'd assume
Brigit,
he
can you
can.
blink?
You turn and try to look towards the kitchen where you saw Sprigget walk off to. You just hear the tap running.
Yeah, I
Can I
think
go
he's
into it?
going insane.
You walk in and you see that Sprigget is holding his head under the tap.
Sprigget!
Hello, Ziddy. Yes, what can I help you with?
Can you blink? Can you teleport? Can you do anything like that?
Nope. but
Here we go.
I'm ready to help.
So how do we get into the Institute without using the main entrance?
You can blink or teleport inside, or you can find some way up and over into it.
And you can't blink or teleport inside.
I cannot know, sorry. My
This is
magical
quite a
abilities are
conundrum.
somewhat limited. I focused on learning and helping others learn rather than expanding my own knowledge.
So we go without him?
After all that, Sprigget, I think it's best you stay at home.
Oh, thank God I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Since it's been ages since they've captured Gwen, shall we start going there and basically clean out the rest of our plan on the way there?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to mention this again because it's kind of important. It's like, so when we leave, where are we going? We kind of need a destination to teleport to.
Back to the inn.
Back to where they know we're staying, okay?
They don't staying there.
Dranth does.
Oh, Dranth does.
I mean, even if they know we are staying there, I mean, the worst they can do is come to us and take us.
Teleport and... okay, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, like, we could also just try and teleport somewhere else. I'm sure that Carnellan can at least teleport into his other inn that he lives in. I don't know how helpful that would be, because I'm sure they can easily scry on us and find us, but...
Anywhere we go, they can scry on us, right?
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter where we go, we're in the same danger.
Yeah, my concern is like, so we rescue her, and then we can't keep her with us for the rest of time now. And they're just gonna do the exact same thing again. We just grab her, teleport next to her and grab her and teleport away.
They can't exactly do that. Teleport takes a minute to cast.
It's instantaneous. It's not taking a minute. It's literally a turn. He can literally just teleport us out.
Yep, it's instantaneous.
I've checked that.
Right, I thought it was a minute. Either way, that's a risk that we have, no matter where we go.
That's the thing. We can't really think that when we save her, she's already safe and they won't be following us. Like, there is no such chance. The thing is, we don't know what's happening with her, and she could be probably even dead by now. So we need to get her as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And we've lost a lot of time already.
I think we should just go get her, teleport back to either our inn or to Carnellan's inn, and
then figure it out.
And then figure it out.
On the way there, should I try to send a message to Nyx and check whether they've seen anything?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, while you guys do this, I think with these questions and strategies to ponder would be the
No.
best time for us to end this session.
Don't do that.
It's just a good time to call it before we get too committed to the prison break.
Can't we just do it? Get
Nah.
committed.
Yeah, let's get committed.
It's just
You're
wasting lots of
free to sit
time.
here and strategize still, but it's...
No, I really don't wanna. I wanna get over with it.
Let's be honest,
Yeah.
it's also he needs time to figure out what he's going to tell me Nyx has seen.
That
Okay, I
too
won't
does
ask
help.
Nyx anything.
No,
Can we go?
session's over.